This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your live weekend market recap for Friday, November 4th, 2022. Gonna give it a few minutes to let people file in. I know it's late on a Friday, but guess what? Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because then you will be able to catch some of these live. This will be another special version, a late Friday afternoon fun version, gummy version, whatever you want to call it. So grab a beer, get your glass of wine, whatever you need, and let's hang out for like about 45 minutes, an hour, because I think people are, again, seeming rather confused by what's going on, and we're trying to anticipate it. And as a probability-based trader that's using evidence, we seem to be more right than wrong, and the tendency continues to grow. Talk about a lot of things today. Talk about the EM merger, we can talk about gold, we can talk about the red wave, we can talk about the markets, because again, I see FinTwit confused as ever, as normal. Just never know what's going on. I'm gonna hit this. If you're watching, go to the 7-minute and 14-second mark. That's the time. That is the time to go to if you want to catch just the recorded version of non-live. Just basically running through all the stocks. I appreciate everybody. Let me just rant through a few things that I think will be helpful for people. And a lot of people go like, how the heck did you see gold doing this? Or how do you see the markets this? Please go to the Back to Basics videos. I made these. There's 54 of these things. I can do more. But I'm telling you, the market is a repeating tendency mechanism that is meant to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. That's what the market makers do. And there's an art to trading, and nobody ever understands it. Now, again, if you believe in certainty and you believe you're always going to be right, probably shouldn't even be trading in the first place. So check that out. Follow on Twitter. If you're looking to get into the room, DM me on Twitter. I am just booting everybody, and I am trying to thin this out, not because I don't like helping people. No, it's the opposite. I can't help people beyond a certain point. At a certain point, people aren't going to do what they're going to do to survive, meaning what? They're just not willing to change, and I can't push people beyond a certain point before I emotionally invest, and I'm just like, this is a waste of time. Absolute waste of time. So that's where I'm at with that, the Discord room. However, but if you have a story, you're learning, you're studying, you've been watching this stuff, and you're just like, hey, I want to take it to the next level, again, I offer it always for free. There's no requirements here. I appreciate all the nice donations today. Got a nice cup of coffee on it, and we'll hopefully take out my wife for anniversary dinner at some point when she's not busy. I'm not busy. And again, I appreciate it. Y'all know I'm investing heavily in you. Invest in yourself. Do the work. Do the work. I'm telling you. This stuff is and will make more sense. And again, the psychology part of this ultimately becomes the hardest part. It's not like I don't know the market. I just have to manage my own emotions. I was talking with Drew about this earlier. Like, what is the hardest thing about trading for me? Knowing that I'm going to be right almost every time, but I'm early, and the one time that I'm wrong, or if I'm early, managing the risk. Managing the risk. Because again, it doesn't always happen the day we get in. Remember, your brain is just wired to go, well, if I make a decision, it's going to be right. Again, no one goes into a trade going, oh, I'm going to lose. No, you got to be able to be analytical and emotionally intelligent to say, all right, wrong. I am wrong. Get out. It's harder said than done. I understand that. So give it a few minutes. Let people come in. Discord room, I can see if you post in the beginner room if you got any comments. I don't necessarily expect a lot of people to be here, but if you are one of the few, guess what? You will have unlimited reign to ask me questions at the end, potentially. Again, what is the goal here? What is the goal here? Again, to make a room full of badass, mentally strong, emotionally intelligent traders. Again, we don't always have to agree because the evidence might not always be overwhelming. But it should be certain things where the market is not confusing us. We have gone through the cycles, and maybe it's only ultimately becomes me until people have been around a few years, and the few that have been around for a few years, appreciate you guys a ton, because sometimes I think people get tone deaf, and you guys are actually around. You can actually be like, yep, that's right. Oh, how do you know that most days on a the market or jobs days are dojis. Well, I've seen about, I don't know, 140 jobs days, and 8 out of 10 of them are dojis. How did you know that? Well, again, study the past. Learn to make that lunch money. No doubt. I mean, again, if once you start thinking like the operators and you stop thinking of from how you want the market to be, I'm telling you, the market just seems now logical. It's trying to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people. It's trying to screw people over. It's like going into the casino and being naive enough to think, I'm going to win. Yeah, beginner's luck is great because you go in the casino, you win, and then boom, you're hooked, you lose. Same thing in trading. Now people argue, well, I'm a long-term investor in fundamentals. Yeah, all of the rules go out the table once a bear market hits. Hence, this year, you've been humbled. I'm telling you, that's how it works. Now, we'll get back into a bull market at some point, but bear market, trader's market. This is where the pros like us hit home runs, hit dingers. Because, again, we know how to trade volatility. You don't marry any thesis. I mean, these people that are just buying tech and then getting wiped out, shorting things at the wrong time, I mean, they're just out of position. Out of position. Out of position.
Here's what I found.
Oh, what is that, Siri? What does out of position mean? Sorry. Siri, you're real special today. I can't say her name. The woman in the room listening. Mrs. Begins with an A, ends with a. Middle name, Lex. Shh. She might hear us. Usually chimes in if I start saying that. I used to take $40 in a cantina. Worst case, I would drink $40 worth of free alcohol. Yeah, no doubt, Eric. I mean, that's the thing. Like, people get into trading, and they're like, they don't treat it like a business. They're trying to grow out their account. I'm trying to take as much money out of the market and put it in secure, long-term, passive income assets as possible. People, everyone's like, oh, dude, it's big trading account. Nah, until you're like, even Warren Buffett is printing money off of this stuff. People who have big trading accounts, again, unless you're like a millionaire billionaire trying to scrape the percentages and just live off that. No, the average person needs to build this and turn this into an absolute business and run it like a business, not like a gambling goofball. Oh, I'm going to try to get rich and get lucky. Well, if you got lucky on one Bitcoin or you got lucky on one of these big moves, Tesla, and you took your profits, cool. Well, not every trade is going to be like that. All right, let's jump into it. I'm going to start recording. If you have questions about specific stocks as I'm going through them, please interrupt me. That's the best time to do it. But if you're asking me about GameStop while I'm running through gold, I'm sorry, I'm going to ignore you. 0% free alcohol and trading. I like to remove money plan and also, but yeah, no doubt. Dude, you've been doing this. You know what I mean. All right. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market recap for Friday, November 4th, 2022. Hopefully you're having a good week. Want to talk about what to expect this week. We know there isn't a big thing called an election. Happens on the, what is it, like the second Tuesday of every November, every other year. Potentially, depending on what's going on in your state. I think maybe every year there's probably elections in all states. And that's how big of an idiot I am. But anyway, talk about that. I want to talk about the red wave, talk about wash sales, talk about how tech is getting tax sold. A lot of things going on. If you're not familiar with the markets as they are and what they're doing, we're here to help. Again, appreciate the love, support. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to be a part of the live chats, because the live chats to me are the most fun. I really enjoy bantering with folks. Again, follow me on Twitter. If you want to get into the Discord room, hit me up, DM me. I want to hear people's story. This isn't just some room you come in to act a fool. No, this is a room for learning. And I'm telling you, at some point, it might be limited down to 20 or 30 people. And all these people are going to be bad mofos, mentally strong, know what's going on. Everyone gets a free shot the first time. Even people have been timed out, kicked out, come back. Again, because I understand. Sometimes you need a little push. I've been there. So, let's get into it. We want to start on the markets. Talked about Fridays. Job days are usually dojis. How do you know that? Go back and study the past. So, today during the live chat said, hey, look at the 370 level on SPY. You had a 2-day range. Not surprised it bounced back. Why would the market bounce back? Well, again, people are thinking that the market is the economy. The market is not the economy. We are not trading the economy. I say this all the time. We are not trading the economy, because if it was, it'd be rational. It'd probably be easier. No, we're trading in a rational market with irrational players, people that are emotional, and people that are gambling. The players, names change with the emotions and the ridiculousness of people. It doesn't. So, what do we know going next week? Keep in mind, it's kind of a light data week, light earnings. You got Disney on Tuesday, you got CPI on Thursday, and the election on Tuesday. As of right now, the projections are for, again, whether you're political or not, I don't care. We're about making green. Republicans sweeping. The Republicans sweep. Again, they don't take office until later next year. The administration's going to be on lock. Does that help production and commodities and get things going? We don't know. Again, remember, a lot of these guys get into Congress and they don't do crap. So trusting in anything is really going to change. But the perception of it, near term, gets the market. Whee! All right, what else is going on? Tax loss selling. People are harvesting. Remember the wash rule. If they sell Apple for a tax loss, they're not buying it back for 30 days. Remember that. So money will be rotating. We've talked about that for weeks. And where is it going? Nobody's talking about it. Just us. Commodities. It's clear as day. And it got much clearer today. Damn right it did. So, on that note, let's jump into it. Because now, just be aware of this stuff. Take note of what's going on. The CPI is on Thursday and the market's up. I mean, I think they're saying like the VIX is down, I don't know, 11 or 12 straight days. I'll look at it. But whatever. Doesn't matter. We talked about the VIX getting slaughtered. All this stuff, evidence-based. Evidence, evidence, evidence. This isn't just Dan sitting here preaching emotional out of a book of nothingness. No, we're the book of the book of Revelation is what? The charts. It's the charts. It's the seasonality. It's the repeating patterns. It's the stuff that you learn from doing this for way too long and getting your ass kicked and learning from your mistakes. Ideally, the goal is you not have to get your ass kicked and have the tuition bill that I had. That is my goal here. It's not to see you have a monster tuition bill, meaning learning. Do you want to have one? That's your choice. Bitcoin. So bullish. Nah, I mean, we talked about it. It just needs to get over this 20,000 area. If it does, cool beans, bruh. Again, I'm personally in this situation where, I mean, you can't be bearish this stuff because it's not taking out the lows, but bullish, then it needs to go. And if it goes, awesome. I don't know Bitcoin's feasibility in the sense of inflation. I mean, again, Golden didn't even hedge inflation. Remember, the market ain't rational. Stop trying to. This is what kills people, and this is what killed me with gold for many years. The fundamentals make sure this is that. No, all markets are rigged, y'all. So again, what will Bitcoin do? This is a good start. This is a very good start for Bitcoin if it's going higher. Nat gas, we talked about it. You can buy it at the low end of this range. If you are trading it, cool. If not, you probably want to close your eyes. And what have we said? The Feds to get put in a pickle and for the market to fall further, you need inflation to kick back up. Because at this point, GDP 2%, even though a lot of it is Ukraine spending, again, don't want to get into that topic, doesn't matter. The market is doing what? It looks like it's trying to go higher. Yeah, Bitcoin does look more bullish. I agree, Shannon. So, if natural gas, watch the downtrend. Watch this area. I mean, again, give it 650. If so, if you bought it down here and you are just 100% out, oh, I told I shouldn't slam the table. Why? Trade around the core. It is a wild beast, but this isn't bearish to me. This broadening pattern potentially could take you back up to the top of the broadening pattern. That would be pretty crazy. But even if it doesn't, do you not think it could get you back into the sevens? I mean, do you want me to draw some more upside areas that look interesting to me? I mean, I think you can see, like, I would look at this area. I mean, maybe you could pull it down to here. I mean, still, that's not a bad return. We'll see. Be safe. Be thoughtful. Again, I don't own nat gas. I own the big dog, oil. People are always like, you know, it's not moving fast enough. Okay, whatever. I sleep, not soil. I sleep well at night owning oil. I have no fear, because that would be not true. But I don't worry about it. I absolutely don't worry about it. We talked about the levels. Again, it's so technical. Look how simple it is. The old resistance became support. Hey, Dan, D. Well, guess what? It rallied right back up to the first resistance. Well, guess what? We didn't play this move. I think I missed this. If I remember correctly, yes. But guess what? I didn't miss this. Said, let's watch this 82, 83 level. Now you're back up near the 93. Again, I say again a lot, but I don't know why. It's just natural. I don't know what a better word to be saved than and then. So, and then we're probably going to go back up into the hundreds again. I said it there again. Saying it again and again. 100. 100 is the area. That's where I think the market starts talking about oil again. That's probably where we need to start booking profits. Not agree? Do we not agree? Like once triple digit oil gets talked about, now people will pay attention again. Keep in mind, after the election, the SPR has to get refilled at some point. Are we going to have a put, essentially? Are we going to have a bottom that can't be broken because the administration is hitting the refill button? Tough to know. Tough to know. But it definitely keeps some, what I would call some support under it. Meh. All right, you saw my background. I love that dog. Love that dog. Dollar. Miss him so much. Great dog, 12 years. Y'all don't know. If you've had a great dog, leave a comment because you know how it is. Like they're like your best friend. We talked about this yesterday. Said, is there a problem here? I need more information. I need more information because when it gapped up on huge volume, if the dollar's about to break out, this is not what you see at highs. You don't like to see dojis at highs, y'all. If it was going to break out, you would hope that it would gap up the next day. Or, again, here's some doji, but you think it's the highs, and it just kept going. Well, we said it. Same thing. When you see a doji at a low with a gap or a high, you need more information. Well, look what it did. Boom! Gap down. See ya. And I mean like, okay. Bearish. Bearish dollar. Near term, bearish. Bearish the dollar. I don't care what you say, but flag, bullish flag, blah, fly your flag. I don't care. Yeah, great dogs are awesome. This thing has been on a rocket ship. Today's job numbers actually were pretty crappy if you broke in. Like now people are like multiple jobs, and now people who are just dropping out of the workforce completely. But guess what? It looked good. It looked good before the election. Surprised? No. Nope, not at all. Been on a monster run, literally, all year. From December, bottom to January. Could there be some profit taking? I don't know if that's what necessarily it is, but what did we say up here? I was like, this whole little action feels near-term distributive. Ends up looking like it. Tilt, TLT, said, leave it alone. Once this thing couldn't get over the 20-day and was, again, I still believe in what? If commodities are going higher, why would you want to buy bonds? We talked about this. Just leave it alone. Thought the markets were going to crash. They didn't. When they didn't confirm it with the VIX, right? Remember we talked about this? We say, hey, look, the VIX did not confirm the breakdown of the market. Bonds could go nowhere. Talked about that. Because again, if we thought the market was going to like crash, people would definitely buy bonds. They didn't. My dog's awesome, but cost me $400 a month. Ooh, I'm sure he's the only thing in the house that doesn't talk back to me. Ha! Yes, dogs don't talk back to you. They might bark at you, though. My dog was pretty quiet. VIX, what have we said? I mean, how many days is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days or whatever it was. Who was the one who said, all right, if the market doesn't break down and the VIX doesn't confirm it, are we not coming down? People, I mean, go back to the videos in mid-October, and I was like, do not be surprised if this gap fills. Well, Dan, what's your reference in history? Well, glad you asked. Yeah, I've always been labs in Goldens, but not like bred ones. I like, just whatever. I'm not into the puppy breeding stuff. Talked about the VIX collapsing before it spiked in 2008. Again, this upward pattern. Said November is probably going to drop back down. And here you go, the 200-day, 20. Maybe it's this 200 month. Maybe it's the 50 or the 20 month. I don't know. There's a repeating pattern for this. You see? You see? Now what? I don't know. Near term? Could get a little choppy. Could get a little sloppy. The VIX, but this is the thing we talked about the volatility coming out. Bank of England doing their thing. China trying to turn back on. The administration trying to create stability. the powers that be trying to make things seem all right. Again, we're not trading the economy, remember that. But the anticipation that the market might try to react better. Keep in mind, there's a historical tendency of what? Midterm years, buying in the fall is a good time to buy. I mean, we've seen that. Go look at, if you have the Stock Traders Almanac, for some reason, where did mine go? Oh, there it is. Oh, man. What do you see for next week? I imagine it's probably not much of anything, but a bullet. Yeah, the day after the election is usually bullish. Day after the election is usually bullish. November, and again, if you're new to the channel, fine. I'm not gonna ask you to go back and watch the videos, but I promise you, I said this about 1,000 times too. If October there's no crash, November is usually friendly to the market. I don't know if it's gonna be all month, but they're seeming the beginning will be because new money coming in, whatever. SPY. Talked about today's action. You could have bought it 2-day low range. Thought we'd close. Is that a doji? Pretty close. You're welcome. I still think we're going to get back up, at worst, back into the mid 390s. Could you touch up in here into the 410s? Maybe. 410 plus. Could it go to channel high? I mean, everybody's bearish. Sentiment is not great yet. Wall Street bets, all bearish. Everybody, I mean, I think I posted in the Discord room, the puts, the absolute amount of puts being bought these days. I mean, retail has never bought more puts. Let me see if I can strap this into the conversation. Check this out. The put buying is never ending. That's just not going to end well. And it's small trader. That's the target. We not agree? That is the target. So anyway, what ideally would be to knock out all the puts would be what? Volatility come in and the market drift up. Everyone get bullish, prove them wrong. They'll buy calls, down. Q's said lay off of this crap. And again, even Doji said this many times. Watch the 260 area. It held the 260 area. But Dan, it went below it. Yeah, well again, tech sucks. IWM, though, didn't. Remember, we talked about what? Yesterday, hitting the 20-day? Making higher lows? Yeah. 50-day? Held. I don't know what to tell y'all. I mean, this looks bullish to me. Remember, we didn't take out the lows. The IWM leads, I say this all the time, IWM leads did not break down in October, September. And it goes higher. Meaning breakdown taking out the June lows. Clear as day. How are you not bearish? Well, again, the evidence isn't saying stay bearish. Again, repeating history would have said it, but it's not confirming. This is where it's hard. You have to be pivoting in your brain at times. Gold. Do I need to review this trade? Winning. I will do it in like 3 seconds. Outside, look below and fail. First, right? Went below, came back. 2, trap potential with the Feds. Consider this whole action as 2 days, potentially. The day after the Feds now has become the new day that matters. 3, retesting the channel low, and gold has been down 7 months in a row, straight. Everybody hates it. Kitco is pointing out, bear, 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 bear. Bear, 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 bear. Okay. I don't want to be bullish gold, but yesterday said, I started buying some on Thursday, like feeler bets, didn't do so well. All right, well, again, this is why we layer in. Didn't go all in. Didn't say, I'm got to pick the bottom right here. 140, 150, whatever. 153. No. Layer in, small. Bought December calls. Remember, the calls that we bought were December. Bought some more today. Look at the action. Or not today. Yesterday. I asked the Discord room, please give me a shred of evidence that doesn't make me think I should buy this. Because here's the third test. Everybody hates it. Now, again, this is a trade. I'm not marrying this. But do you guys, and I said this, I mean, it's like you said again, and you said this, and all this over and over. What did we notice in 2008, right? Gold bottomed in October 2008, even though the market didn't bottom till March. Could that be happening here? People have memories. Now, the best way to, if I was the market makers, would to be rally it, then smash it later. That would really get everybody screwed up. But what have we talked about? Tax loss selling? The wash rules? I mean, if I sold tech and I'm a big institution with money to play, I'm probably buying what? probably going to buy gold. Has no downside. So it's almost like, and this is what I tell you, when the trades come to you, they're usually the best. It's the one where you chase. This came to us as a freaking absolute gift. Nice. And is today not a professional gap? People are saying, oh, I'm taking some profits. What? Huh? Gold just gapped up pretty powerfully, $30 an ounce, and you're taking profits on day one? Now, again, I can't say for sure what's going to happen, but 9 times out of 10, the professional gap leads to higher highs. The professional gap leads to higher highs. The professional gap over that leads to higher highs. The professional gap off the lows leads to higher highs. The professional gap leads to... Does anyone see why I was like, why are you selling? Why are you selling gold? I don't know. Now the gummy's kicking in and I'm getting like slightly frustrated for these folks. Silver. Okay, silver was holding up. All right. Gap's up today. I'm taking profit. Okay. I mean, you're just getting into the first support zone. I mean, it seems like the 200-day would be at worst. Okay. GDX, I'm taking profit. GDXJ, what? Professional gap, huge volume? What? I mean, at worst, it's getting back to the 32s. Now it's starting to feel like I need to pull this over. Because it might be the 200-day in the 30s, mid-30s. I said that earlier in the Discord room. That would not surprise me at all now. Just based on this action. So pay attention. GDX. Again, this is probably not the bottom, meaning like the final bottom, but it's probably what? It's probably a good trade. And that's all I give a schneck about. It's probably a good trade. Even crappy GDX. Where to now? Probably back up to this 27 range. If you had JNUG or any of these levered ones and you sold today, God bless your soul. I hope you get some. I hope it doesn't just start running away, because you don't want to chase it. AG, man, look at that, 10% today. Professional gap at worst, probably in the mid-10s. AEM, leave this one alone. I do not like them buying Umonic Gold. I don't like the action today. I don't like the idea that it's going to be a partnership. I don't like that they're going to be using stock. And I don't like that they don't have a ton of cash on their balance sheet at the moment. They will probably get penalized. That's all I got to say on that. Now, again, it could rally if the whole market does, but I think when this deal is going to be punitive. Again, I hate junior miners that are crap. To me, Yamana sucks. Convince me I'm wrong. Newmont. You know, we usually hate it, but we watch it. We talk about it like, oh, man, it made new lows, and it bounces back. Ah! You might consider that a what? You might consider that a bear trap. Look below and fail. So it probably comes back up to what? I don't know, maybe 48? That would be pretty nutty. If that goes to 48, then a lot of the other names are going to do well. Do you see why I was like, I don't know why you would sell day one. It's amazing to me. People will hold on to their losers like they're their best friend, and they will dump their winners like they're cancer. We'll dump them like they got radioactive. Don't get that. Don't get that. PAAS. The market did not like that move, but it closed it back over the range lows. Let's not play the arbitrage game. Let's try not to figure out too much about it. If you want to buy it and you bought it near the lows, great. I think long term it'll probably be beneficial, but short term I have no clue. I hate when companies make deals that I don't think the market's going to like. And we'll see. Let the charts speak. As of right now, both of those candles were like hammers, while the other ones closed at the high of the day. At literally the high of the day. So I don't know. AMD. Again, you want to buy this stock, go right ahead. But just get ready to Rip Van Winkle and wake up in 10 years if you really want to make big profits. Is it a trade? I mean, it's like, man, I told you, this recap one day is going to be all commodities. No tech. Because tech's gonna suck. Once the momentum is lost, it's gone. Pretend this is Peloton. Even though it's not, it can still lose. Once it loses momentum, it's just a different version of that. Or think of any other one of your favorite classic COVID stocks that have gone to nothing. DraftKings. Who buys DraftKings? Gross. Gives me the willies. Don't buy that crap. Okay, I mean, I don't even know what to say. What are we looking at here? This is just like tight action that could resolve higher. But how much? I don't know. NVIDIA, it moves a little better. Nice little gap up today. I mean, this one has gotten slaughtered, but it's acting better. It's responding when the market rises. It's not like at an equilibrium. It just means like there's equal buyers and sellers. Clearly, there's more demand. Maybe this leads the SMH up. I've said this 1,000 times. The 200s are probably coming. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Again, do I want to play this? No, I don't want to play this. I think there's better opportunities. But it confirms to me what? The market doesn't look like it's about to crash. Adobe, if I remember right, yeah, it was down like, I don't know, it was down most of the day and then rallied back. Holding support. This is why we draw the lines. You don't draw the lines, guess what? You don't make the cream. Dollar bill, y'all. Sorry. I had to say that. Every time you say that, if you know Wu-Tang. Apple, it better hold. I mean, it's due to probably rally. It's dropped from 157 down to 137 pretty quick. Some serious tax loss selling. I don't know who will fill the void, but if I had to guess, they will naturally float up, but might not really go anywhere. Right? Is that what you want to trade? I don't know. That's your choice. Amazon, talked about it, broke 100, get out. Talked about this bounce being potential a trap. Here's like, I don't know. You want to buy tech? These things still trade at astronomical PE ratios. They're overvalued on cash flow, everything. I don't know. CRM, I'm just start deleting this junk. Google. I used to love these names. We talked about channel low. Here you go. Finally, something that might have like a technical reason to buy, but is it just going to go into the chop zone? I mean, could it get back up to 95? Yeah. I mean, if you want to play that move and that's what you feel comfortable with, I'm just going to, I mean, 10%, cool. But I mean, we made 10% in AA today. We made 10% in miners today. I mean, if you want to do that over the course of 5 days and you think it gets back there, great. But if the markets rip and some of these other things that we're already in cook, 20% will seem like, hopefully, just a starting move. Makes sense. Materials are the place. Meta like a high me ho. The word of the day is pain. If you know the, probably said that really loud. If you know the Pee Wee Herman show from back in the day, he had a word of the day. This is just pain. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, everyone's arguing the valuation is cheap. Probably due to bounce, but man, I wouldn't. No, I don't want to invest in MySpace. Microsoft, channel low. I don't know. These names are just way too hard. Think about gold stuff. It's been in this like nice, deep, or 60, 30-day base. This stuff is just making newer lows. I mean, even the worst of the material names have better bases than this. It's a lonely life. Isn't that Ace of Base? As NDAQ, this will be an absolute turd stock. This is the Coinbase of what? The NASDAQ stocks. When people stop trading NASDAQ stocks, like they will, all those stupid tech names that people want to continuously buy, they'll eventually stop. Think about it. I don't know if y'all saw this today. Brokerage accounts for the first time in like, I think, like, I don't know, since 2008 or 10 or something, we're actually down. People are starting to close up shop and stop trading. Guess what? We're about to get better, and we're about to go further and make more money because, again, we know what to do. Average person, goodbye. It was nice, fun playing. Again, the market maker's like, well, hope you enjoyed your stay in Vegas. Hope you can make back some money somewhere else. Come again when you do. Goodbye. MicroStrategy, look at that. Talk about the 20-day, 100-day. Man, this thing moves. I mean, you can trade 20 points out of this every day. I might have to start doing that again. I used to love Priceline because it moved that. You can make 50 points in a day. Netflix. Someone talked about shorting it. If you're in here, cool. I still didn't think that was a smart play. Shorting today. Here you go. I feel like this gap, 20-day, probably going to hold on the what? The first dip gets bought. Why do you say these things over and over and over and over again? Because they're ingrained in my brain, and I look at this and I go, yes, this is dropped, but the first dip probably gets bought. So you want to short it today? I'm like, coming out of a big base, ace of base. It's such a lonely trade. No, if you go short this, good luck. I mean, I know tech stinks, but it's not doing as terrible. Roblox, what a wild, I mean, big range, 10% range, daily range there. Close at the lows of the day. Tech, what do you got? Tesla, another test. Who was it said, watch the 204s? Agreed. You guys nailed the levels, and it bounced. Does this just go into the perpetual chop zone? Now, you can trade the chop zone, but I'd rather run the leaders. Because if you remember, look at this May, June action, and then I'm going to show you commodities. And you tell me what you wanted to own in May and June. Okay? Now that we're done with tech, let's go to a commercial break. Da-da-da-da-da, I'm loving it. Okay, back to commodities. X maybe not the best one for this, but it has been in a base. Could it not just, I mean, it could jump from 19 up to 25, 20, I mean, 20%. That's pretty, again, if you want to trade that cheap stocks, that's probably the play. But look at this. This is an awesome trap. This is an awesome trap because if it's the start of a, again, notice all these professional gaps in commodity names versus tech just looks like crap. That's a pretty sweet little move there. And if it breaks the downtrend, I mean, you know how, if you looked on the hourly, you'll see it. I don't want you to do it. That could bring you back up into the 20s. And again, safe. I like safe. I don't like risky. I'm putting money to work. I don't want to lose it. Oh, but I got to short China stocks, and I got to do other stuff. I'm like, man, y'all make it so damn hard sometimes. Nucor, look at that. Held the 20, 50-day. Boom. Gap up now again. That cannibal ain't that hungry. No, it doesn't look, that candle doesn't look that great. But you're in the point of control. If it holds here, it might take 3 or 4 days. Take notes. If you're trading Nucor, I literally said it could be here for a couple days. Cool. And if the market rips higher, cool. VALE, hated it. Oh my God, look at that gap today. I don't trust VALE, just like I don't trust PBR. I don't trust Brazilian stocks at the moment. It has nothing to do with the Brazilian people. Love them. They're great culture, good food, like to party. Can't go wrong with that. The stock gapped up. Interesting. Well, I guess the dollar dropped, so it's not surprising. If you traded it, high five. Arrow. Didn't we point this out yesterday? Watch the doji here, and it gaps up. Wow, look at that. Okay, well, did you sell some today? I hope not. CCJ, not great today. But well, look what this happened. I don't know who called it out, but look at that. Closed right at 22.70. All right. I'm in the live chat at Lee Perry. Okay, cool. I'm reading other things. Keep that in mind. That's not bad. We'll see. I mean, we like uranium long run, but we know always all this stuff is going to get tossed out at some point. But try to stick to the leaders. CF. Traded it today. Talked about I could sell it up here at the 110. I didn't get it. I got out at 109s. Bought some back near the end of the day in the 105s. People are like, oh, it's going to the 50-day. It's going to go to 20. I don't know. I like it in this blue zone. I like it to pop. Okay? I like it to pop. At this point, do you think this is just a one-day event? It's felt like a pin action day. Well, let's try to pin it to 105. Let's get people to really give up on this thing, and then they'll take it higher. That's what seems likely to me. Again, if you listen to their earnings or read, they've got visibility. They got 20/20 vision for a couple of years, y'all, and they're going to be printing money. I mean, they're increasing their buyback. Well, everybody else is cutting buybacks. They're going to be printing money. Mosaic. Earnings on Monday after the close. Be aware. Watch the 46 level. Okay? NTR. Dan, why are you adding this? Yeah, I know. It's a laggard. Yeah, I know. But remember, May, June, into July, whatever, this one popped a little bit. I mean, did I not show the main? We'll get into it with oil. I don't want to backtrack. I think this could pop. Back to 80s. Not bad. CF is my trader. Now I got stuck in this with a little bit. I got some calls that are 83s that are going, goodbye. Bought a little after earnings at 78. Ugh. Bought a little down here, trying to get my cost basis. If I get back to even. But again, back to even probably is not the thought here, right? Because if this is a bear trap, I think we're probably going to start printing. And here is probably the most obvious area to get to. It's probably going to line up in the 90s. Not bad if you're buying it. The people who bought it at the dead lows, a lot of it, high five. High five. AAPL. Oh, we hate commodities. No, we don't. And here you go. How did you see this trade, Dan? First of all, it was not easy. Second of all, the big dog always eats, and they're going to defend their zone. They are going to defend their zone if it's meant to be. And again, you can stop out, but I will gladly buy this all day. Big move down over time, basing. Remember, rubber band man theory. Biggest move, smaller move, smallest move, reversal. Chop, 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 reversal. Chop, 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 reversal. Right? Look at this. People sold us today. I'm like, can't even come up with words. I'm just going to go silent. You sold the professional gap. Now, why would you do that? Maybe, I guess you're scared. Boeing's on fire. Literally doing well. On stock paper. Aluminum. Needed it. You got back into the 40s. You just got back into the zone. What's the first resistance? I said 45 if you get over 43. The next one becomes the 0.25 near 50. Then maybe you get up to like the 200-day 58. Would you be pissed about buying a stock in the upper 30s, 40 area and selling it in the mid 50s? I wouldn't. That's going to make money if it works. EXPI gave up on it today. Closer to the lows because I just said, you know what? I like commodities more. That's all. I just said, I want more capital in this stuff. Now, today's action closed back above the 20-day. I hope it rips for the people that held. I just want some more cash. I want more cash, and I didn't want to be tied up in XBI because it just wasn't leading. XLF, I've said that word again. The market ain't going to turn over when financials are acting well. Got it? Good. There's nearly nothing left to say at that point. Morgan Stanley. Talked about it yesterday. Had a long wick. Let's see more information. A gap right back. Closed back at the 200-day. This is consolidation to me now. I don't know if it's going lower, but I don't know if it's going higher. But it looks like it's playing games. Real man of genius. Here's to you, Jamie Dimon. Getting everyone to convince your stock is going to get murdered and the economy is the stock market is drop another 20%. And you, my friend, loaded the boat in the hundos, making higher highs off the lows. Things that aren't bearish. Okay. There you go. 30%. I mean, all right, you bought tech because you just had to hold the loser, but you wouldn't pivot to other stuff that looked better. Commodities, oil, JP Morgan, whatever. I mean, we're not full. This is not just loser fest. Let's get into Solar. Gap, close at the lows, or mid candle 200-day. I know, red wave coming, probably not good for solar. I personally would not short it if the market is holding up. Sedge, ENPH. Oh, I'm losing my viewers. Y'all go eat dinner. Do what you got to do. Have a good night. 200-day or 50-day. Pray that it gets back up here again. Channel high would be awesome. That's the monthly. Damn, JPM. Yeah, exactly. Real men of genius. Just fleeced everybody. Market makers. Love them. Operators. Got to love them. JP Morgan is an operator. Do not forget that. Remember, they are a massive silver operator. So, I look at this and I go, all right, well, closed above what? Again, closed above the professional gap. Went higher, as we said, came back. That is not bearish. I'm sorry. That's not bearish, that formation. But how would you know if it's not? I mean, you have to watch the 280 area. It could play this candle game. Play the candle game. Sedge, we said this piece of junk, even floating higher, held the 20-day. Notice that filled the gap. First Solar. I mean, how many people are whining today? Oh, I should have shorted yesterday. It made a higher high and a higher low today. But it was red. I mean, is it not surprised it just went from 115 to 160? Here is the next resistance. Keep that in mind. It's also, I don't want to flip to the monthly. It's a 50% fib. It's the 1.618 extension. I know everyone's like, oh, it's a channel high. All right, you shorted it yesterday. You were hating life this morning. One point, you're high-fiving yourself, and then you're, like, confused. I don't want to pick the top on this at this point because I think the market could rally. So I'm going to stick to what I've said every single time. Do not fight the tide. Oil, speaking of tide, lifting solar up. You got to love it. You got to love it. Talked about buying down here. Talked about buying down here. You broke out. Next pivot, 78, 79. That would be, I think, probably mid, upper 90s, probably 80. And I mean, sorry, when I'm talking about the WTI 90s. Can I get a tip for that? No. If you saw this, remember this is what we talked about, safe. Sometimes safe isn't sexy, but it ain't losing money. And sometimes you got to sit on your hands. We talked about this. Oil is going higher. It's going to put pressure on the Fed to do what? Raise rates again, and the market will hate it. Then we will dump. Professional gap? Nah, not really. Remember, oil has tons of gaps. I just see higher highs and higher lows from here. Here to here to here to here. Like, I typically don't really chart this other than like trend lines, but let's do this one just real quick. All right, so I want to do, if y'all don't know this trick, I love cloning the bottom angle and just, whoa, that's not it. Cloning the trend line angle and then putting it on top for the channel. Does this make sense? So I clone the bottom, add it to that. There you go. I like to do that for channeling stocks, right? They don't always channel, but it helps. It's a way. Have you ever done that before? Your chart software probably has it. So, moving right along, rolling it out. UNG. I mean, I don't know how you sold it today. I mean, it back tested 19s. Do y'all understand the importance of support? When it back tested this level, 2-day range, there's a video on multi-day ranges. Please watch it. When you held this, you should have been like, oh, heck yeah. Well, here you go. If we're holding support. Now, UNG is not the ideal thing to chart. Remember, we like nat gas, but it seems like you're coming into the 20s or low 20s again, like 22 plus. High five. What it does after that, I don't know. But it looks like it's going higher. XOP, we have said since the beginning. So we've said this since the bottoms. Like, this stuff made a higher low. This is going to be the strong one. Everybody wanted to sell it yesterday, Wednesday or Thursday. And it's like, okay. And then Friday, look, and now you make a higher high. Oh, but it's an indecision candle. Well, the whole market was. It got into the gap. Maybe it found some sellers. I still think there's a possibility. And someone's going to go, are you serious? 180s. I haven't talked about that until now. But look at the next fib. Look at the next point of control. 160 to 180s. We've said that's the upside potential. I mean, could you get to 180s? I don't know, man. But if the market gets bonkers and they get excited about oil and gas, it could go. It could absolutely go. ExxonMobil. I don't know if the guy who shorted at 87 and said he stopped out and didn't tell anybody till after the fact is still paying attention, but I told you not to short this. If you want to get back in the Discord room, you're going to have to pay $5,000 because that's what my advice is worth to people who don't listen and they want back in. No, I'm just kidding. It's so obvious. It's like, you don't short this. Once it held the 200-day, you just don't short it. Just making new highs. Now, don't be surprised if it slows down a little bit, but also don't be surprised if it heats up. It's made a big run. I prefer more consolidation, but maybe it doesn't do it. we've said this. Here's the upside monthly trend line, 116.59. Yeah, if you get kicked out of the Discord room, it's cost you 50 grand to get back in. Just kidding. I'll probably let you in if you tell me your story and you tell me you learned something. Because sometimes that's what you need is a timeout. Timeout from trading, timeout from whatever you're doing to get clarity. Occidental. The time alone is the penalty and the reward. Making higher lows. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it there. It just doesn't look bearish. If you have any questions about this stuff, please reach out. I'd love to help you if you're really trying to help yourself. If you're just looking for an easy answer, and you pretend that I'm Jim Cramer, some goofball that just knows everything about everything. No. I try to focus on names that move, names that I know, names I trust. Hit me up. I'll try to help you out. If you really want to get in the Discord room, DM me on Twitter. If you really want to take it to the next level, talk to me about real estate, because I'm telling you right now, if you're making money in this stuff and you have nothing in your portfolio of real estate, people are complaining about paying $100,000 over. Well, now you're going to be able to get $100,000 under. Oh, the rates are higher. Okay, well, great. At some point, you refinance, but you're still getting deals. People still need places to live. They have underbuilt in this country for 13 straight years. Hence why you saw the bubble that was COVID. Well, guess what? The bubble of inventory, there's none. Still none. Now, people might foreclose, but at least you're balanced. I hate overpaying for real estate. That's the worst. I want to know the value of it. Well, if you can calculate the value and you're buying stuff, All right, I'm going to leave open for the chat. If anyone's around, please leave comments. Please get involved. Ever see a stock go up 25% a day and sustain the next day? Seems to be profit-taking opportunity to buy. Have I seen a stock go up 25% a day and sustain the next day? Absolutely. Absolutely. Someone's asking on Discord room. I wouldn't be... oh, that's right. You've got that spec house you built. Oh, man, yeah. Dude, you might get boned. Or you have to wait it out. I think you have to get past the holidays. Y'all know how it is. People don't like to... I can't even find a legitimate tenant for my rental. I mean, we got screwed by the builder closing later. This time of year is just bad. People ain't making decisions on housing. But if you're trying to buy, you really can take the seller and ask them for a lot. Oh, you want me to pay your closing costs? Yeah. I mean, you know this. You know this, Bob. You know this. You want me to pay down your mortgage? Oh, that inspection found this crap. Yeah, I'll fix it. Oh, we've been on market for 90 days. Yes, I'll take a massive price reduction. Yeah, those are all things. Yeah, I mean, you know this. All right, since we're deep now into the edible game, and it's been, the questions need to be coming in, or I'm just going to head out and eat some dinner. I've not eaten today. Sorry, just kidding. Dinner. Freeport. Somebody's talking about copper. Yeah, hey, Sam, you were right. Someone needs to pay attention to it. Nice move. 20-day. Look at that. Zang. Yeah, you see 25% moves. Probably depends on where it is in the chart. Off the lows, it's the start of a bull move. If it's in a chop zone and it's a breakout, it's usually start of a bull move. If it's already ran up and pops 25%, be careful. That might be a top. Interessante. I haven't looked at EXP stock in forever. I just stopped. Yeah. Talk about lose momentum. Give up on it. Yeah. It lost it. Great company. We're absolutely killing it. But, sorry. ARK. Once you lose momentum, it's done. It's done. Who remembers? We talked about this. The trap bull zone that would lead to lower lows. Who remembers talked about the double top? This thing is such a piece of junk. Kathy Wood. Remember, we don't believe in false idols in the market. We don't believe one person can always be right. That's why I'm like, take my advice, but double check it for yourself. Whenever I start talking like I'm omnipotent, run away. Because I shouldn't be. I should always be like, I'm evidence-based. And I'm always expecting the market maker trying to take my money. I'm always trying to expect them to trap us. So I'm not sitting here going, I can't be stupid confident. Steel D. This one has been fire. Talk about better than Nucor. Fire! Got your double top, though. If it can get over it, this is a big, big cup and handle. With like a head and shoulders. Pretty impressive. Any questions, or I'm just going to wrap this up. Goldman Sachs, imagine they're making Higher highs, yeah. Getting over the target zone. Things that aren't bearish. People calling this 2008. Well, guess what? In 2008, in October, financials were not cooking. They were getting baked and burned. Totally different. So you have to acknowledge such, right? Gotta acknowledge such. God, I'm trying to think of any other stocks I want to look at. No, not really. Hey, shout out to Starbucks. Told people to probably take profits, and I apologize. But I will never apologize for earnings. I will never apologize for earnings, because if you get stuck, overly positioned, you will absolutely get destroyed. And it might not come back, and you might get burned. Well, the goal is not to get burned. If you held a little through earnings, like who is it? Begins with an S. I know I'm there. I'm in the S zone. Where are you, friend? Why are you not showing up? Sabalina, right? Is it Sabalina? Yeah, Sabalin 24. Yes. You got up. Nice work. Rentals and tourist towns in Cabo, Mexico seem like a good investment. Interested in the area personally. Well, yes. First of all, if you can buy one and spend some time there, like I like to spend time in the winter in other places. I don't know if I'll do it as much this year because I'm busting my ass in real estate. And for you guys, I mean, I don't remember the last time I took a week off. Yeah, traditionally all cash market. I'm not surprised. I mean, as you know, you got to know people that know how to get deals done down there versus getting scammed. I guess Cabo's not as bad as, other Hispanic countries, but I think long term, absolutely. Vacation properties. I mean, keep in mind, you're going to get better deals on them because they're very, cyclical, very economically sensitive. But, I mean, how many people would die for a Hawaii, Cabo, Puerto Rico, Florida? I mean, you pick the mountain town, whatever, that you can buy a vacation property on discount. I told y'all, I'm looking at stuff near Keystone because I need a closer ski place, because I typically go to Idaho near Targhee and Jackson. My folks have moved out there fully using that home, and I love to go a vacation out there with them. Family property. If you don't know, you're in the Discord room. I love Idaho. I used to be a fishing guide. Still have fishing guide friends. Some of them might be listening to this. Oh, love that area. Idaho's the shiznit. Traditionally, yeah, oh gosh, they might harvest your organs down there. Be careful. I mean, they could harvest your organs anywhere. Go into a city and get drugged. You might not wake up. So I don't worry about that kind of stuff. It's not to their advantage to let Cabo fall apart. Is stronger dollar advantage for buying foreign properties? Yeah, clearly. Clearly it is. Absolutely. I have not bought foreign properties with currency differentials, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people are investing. I hear Portugal's hot. Again, certain parts of Canada make sense. Stay away from the super socialist countries. Yeah, I dig it. I'd go to Idaho. I would live in Idaho full time if my wife didn't need to be near a real city. She loves Denver. The other idea is Salt Lake. I like dry air, mountains, fresh air. I guess not always fresh in the cities, but the ability to get clear of people or get into the great outdoors. Jamaica, man. Yeah, I like Jamaica. I really do like Jamaica. I like Costa Rica, actually. Costa Rica is by far my favorite Central American country. I lived there for 4 months in 2001. Puedo hablar español porque vive, or lived, vivo, whatever. There. I still know a little Spanish. I know it pretty well, actually, but speaking it, I don't. Do you want me to do the Spanish version of this? Holy crap, that would be hard. But Costa Rica, the west side, bad ass. East side kind of reminds me of like a Jamaica, but just not as cool. The west side of Costa Rica is the best side. West side! by far. All right, there's no more questions. I could rattle and hang out here all for a little bit. Wife is now texting me, so dinner plans. I love this stuff. If you don't love this stuff, I'm telling you, you're not going to last in trading because you're not going to push yourself through when times are tough. I was talking to Drew today, and he was like, man, I started just analyzing everything about myself, and it got me excited for his future because that's what I eventually did. Like, I just made so many stupid mistakes over and over and over until a point where I'm like, I survive because of the few rules that I have about taking money out, but I hate replenishing my stock account when I would blow one out. Oh, that's the worst. Eventually you just say, you know what, I'm going to figure out a way not to do that. All right. Any last questions? Going once, twice, 3 times? Starbucks is interesting. Any questions? Discord room if you're listening. If not, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the generous donations. Again, whether it's $5, $500, it doesn't matter. It shows you appreciate the effort that we're giving here to help you. It's not required, never will be, because again, I make money trading. This is a nice little bonus for teaching to people that want it. Again, the people that want it. I guarantee if I charge $1,000, people would take it serious. I don't want those folks because I know those same folks will still blow out. I want the people who work their butt off with the information they're given because they know why it works, because they've studied it, they've back tested it. This isn't some bull crap. I'm not a social media influencer trying to get rich teaching you how to pretend trade. All right. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it. Be safe out there. Bob, feel bad for your spec home. I can't even find the tenant. I can't find anyone reasonably at this moment. But you know what? I'll eat the amount because I appreciate the appreciation in Denver. I can carry the cost. I don't want to. But man, it is hard out there in the real estate game. And that's the time to strike. All right. Peace out, y'all. Good night.